Legends don't appear out of nowhere. They come from unstable times and difficult choices. In the space between law and survival, a different world takes shape. A world where reputation travels faster than the wind, and a single choice can echo for a lifetime.
And that is Where Winds Meet.
A game called Where Winds Meet.
Where Wind Meets.
It's called Where the Wind Meets.
Or Where Winds Meet.
Where the Winds Meet.
Where Winds Meet.
Where Winds Meet.
What's the name of the game? It's called Where Winds Meet.
And this world has a name, but to understand it, we need to start at the beginning. Where Winds Meet exploded across the Western gaming world, and now everyone's asking the same two questions. What exactly is Wuxia? And right after that, what is Jianghu? And why does everyone move as if gravity works differently here? So today, I want to introduce Wuxia and Jianghu in a way that feels honest, simple, and connected to how people inside the culture actually understand it. And don't worry, I'm not gonna give you a lecture or Wikipedia summary, but from someone who grew up in the Chinese community, someone who grew up surrounded by Wuxia stories and understand how they feel from the inside. Because Wuxia isn't just about flashy moves or fancy combat. It is a philosophy, a spirit, a way characters choose to live even when it costs them. And with Where Winds Meet going viral, I think this is the perfect time to bring you into that world. To avoid the video length getting too long, this series will be divided into 2 episodes. Today's episodes will be all about Wuxia, what it means, where it came from, and the abilities that define it. Episode 2 will divide into what is Jianghu, and what Shaolin's role truly inside that world. So if this is your first time watching Game Goat, this channel breaks down game with honesty, dive into stories behind the world we play, and explores the culture that shapes them. So stay with me, because once you understand Wuxia and Jianghu, Where Winds Meet hits completely different. Alright, so let's talk about what Wuxia actually is. The word itself is split into 2 parts, Wu and Xia. Wu means martial ability, discipline, and training, while Xia means a moral spirit, helping the weak, resisting injustice, and protecting others. But putting them together, Wuxia doesn't mean a person who knows Kung Fu. It means someone with skill and a personal code, a person who chooses justice even when it's difficult. To understand what makes a Wuxia hero, it helps to break down into 4 pillars. The first one is skill. Anyone can become extraordinary. Being Wuxia hero doesn't need noble blood. You can come from a village, the streets, or if you were a beggar. Yes, in Yong Wuxia universe, the beggar clan is the largest clan. We will talk about him in later chapter. His impact on Chinese fiction and Wuxia storytelling is massive. The next one, courage. Doing the right thing even if it's dangerous. Wuxia do not have superpowers. They jump in because someone has to, because walking away from injustice would betray their own heart. That's the spirit of a Wuxia hero, choosing what's right even when it's risky. And the third one will be freedom, refusing to be controlled by corrupt authority. Most Wuxia heroes don't follow kings or governments. They follow their sifu, their sect, or their own principles. Traditional Chinese stories often paint government as inconsistent or corrupt. So heroes rise from outside the official system. Last one, a personal code. Justice defined by the individual. Western stories rely heavily on laws, while Wuxia relies on personal morality. Some heroes forgive easily, and some of them never forgive. Some protect life above all. Some believe revenge restores balance. There is no single correct answer, only the hero's code. If you are from the West, the closest equivalent is the knight errant, a lone traveler who fights for justice outside the rules of society. But there is a main difference. Western knight errants were usually nobles. They had land, wealth, social standing. But for Wuxia heroes, They are ordinary people, they come from the bottom, no titles, no power, no privilege, just skill, guts, and a stubborn sense of justice. They don't fight for kings, they don't answer to lords, they don't want to be controlled. Most of them only serve their clan or sect master, the sifu who taught them skills. They want freedom, even if freedom is dangerous, bloody, and lonely. Now let's talk about something people always ask. What can a wuxia hero actually do? Because wuxia ability isn't just fast punches or sword swings. It's a whole system. Part martial arts, part inner energy, part cinematic style. It all comes together to create a very unique toolkit. So I've chosen 4 common abilities you will see the most. And of course, most of them appear in Where Winds Meet. The first one will be martial arts, with or without weapons. Some fight empty-handed, some use swords, spears, or staffs. Others get creative, fans, umbrella, needles, calligraphy brushes. If they are holding it, he's a weapon. A friend who plays Where Winds Meet share a funny joke. Give a Western RPG hero a banana, he eats it to heal. But when you give a wuxia hero a banana, it costs you life. The second common ability of wuxia heroes will be inner energy, 内力. Think of 内力 as the body's internal engine. Not magic, but a refined life force built through training. It lets heroes hit harder, move faster, block blades, and send force through their palms. It's like the force in Star Wars or chakra in Naruto. Not as flashy, but powerful enough to launch someone across the courtyard. The third ability is one of the most iconic wuxia movement skill, the qinggong. In Where Winds Meet, players can run, jump, walk to the top of the tree easily, and dash mid-air using qinggong techniques. It's not flying, it's just moving so lightly. And qinggong is the ability I wanted the most when I was a kid. Imagine having qinggong, walking up staircase wouldn't be a challenge anymore. The last common ability of wuxia heroes will be acupoint strikes. In wuxia, pressure points are very real. Hit the right spot and you can immobilize someone, make a limb numb, knock someone out, stop bleeding, or even kill instantly. In Where Winds Meet, you unlock Meridian Touch early, the game's version of acupoint strikes. You can freeze enemies, make them laugh, or make them itch so badly that they can't fight. The acupoint strikes is precise, dangerous, and iconic, and I'm so glad that the game brought it back authentically. But there's one more thing people are always curious about. Can a wuxia hero retire? The answer is yes, but the retirement in wuxia is serious. A hero can officially retire through a ceremony called the Golden Basin hand washing. In Chinese, we call 金盆洗手. You can imagine it like hanging up your boots like footballers. The Golden Basin sounds fancy, but it's not limited to powerful person. The usage of Golden Basin is more like determination of retirement. So yeah, after the ceremony, all grudges disappear, all alliances end, you can leave the martial world entirely. Other fighters cannot bother you, and you can't interfere in affairs anymore. But keep this in mind, if a retired hero returns, the unfinished business would also return the moment they do. Wuxia didn't just appear one day. Its roots go all the way back to the late Qing dynasty, when writers like Shi Yukun created stories such as 3 Heroes and 5 Gallants. Stories shaped by a chaotic, corrupt era, where ordinary people desperately wish someone, anyone, would stand up for them. Wuxia truly evolved in the 1950s. The godfather of modern wuxia novels is Louis Cha, or better known by his pen name Yong. He didn't just write stories. He built an entire genre from the ground up, with his own rules, factions, philosophies, and moral hierarchies. Yong also owned a newspaper in Hong Kong, and he serialized his novels there, then more newspapers joined in. And remember, this was the 1950s to 1970s. No streaming, no mobile games, no TikTok. Reading newspaper books and serialized fiction was one of the most exciting forms of entertainment people had. Between the 1970s and 1990s, wuxia fever exploded across Hong Kong, China, and Taiwan. There was the true golden age of wuxia. TV dramas, novels, movies, comics, it was everywhere. And Yong's influence still unmatched. At any given moment, there was always at least one TV series somewhere in Hong Kong or Taiwan being adapted from his novels. Just different actors, different stunts, but the same wuxia spirit. Games also play a huge part in that era. Early Chinese RPGs like 轩辕剑 and 金庸群侠传 helped bring wuxia into the gaming world. Later on, we got even more classics, like Tale of Wuxia, The Proud Twins, and many other RPGs that shaped generations of Asian gamers. Even today, wuxia remains one of the most beloved themes in Asia. But for a long time, it never fully clicked with Western players. Not because the stories weren't good, but because the cultural foundation is completely different. And that is why Where Winds Meet surprised me. It finally created a wuxia world that Western players could step into and feel almost like a GTA inside a wuxia world. You can steal horses, mess around, make choices that matter, and yes, get wounded by the authorities. It's chaotic in the best way possible. But we will save the full review for another video. I've got plenty to say about it. There's one more thing I need to clarify because many people confuse this. Black Myth Wukong, the game that almost got GOTY in 2024, and Dynasty Warriors are not wuxia games. Black Myth is much closer to mythology, gods, demons, and legendary creatures, while Dynasty Warriors is based on historical warfare, plus hack and slash combat. So don't mix it up with wuxia. And hey, if you want me to dive into Black Myth Wukong, the real journey to the West mythology, or other Chinese fantasy genre, give me a like and let me know in the comments. I'm always happy to go deep. So that's wuxia. Not just swordplay, not just cool abilities, but a whole way of thinking. A world where personal code and reputation matter more than status or bloodline. But here's the thing, wuxia is only half of the picture. Because behind every wanderer, every clan, every legendary duel, there's an entire society moving in the shadows. A world with its own rules, its own politics, its own justice. And that world is Jianghu. If wuxia is the spirit, Jianghu is the stage where the spirit lives and breathes. And in the next episode, we are going to dip into what Jianghu actually is. Why it feels so different from anything in Western fantasy, why it matters so much in wuxia stories, and some interesting facts about Shaolin, and what's Shaolin's actual role inside that world. So if today gave you a clearer picture of wuxia, Jianghu is where everything gets bigger, messier, and way more interesting. Thanks for watching the show. If you like our breakdown and analytics, please like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one.